one of the things I've been always wanted to ask you about this was Tiger Woods versus Derek Jeter. Tiger Woods, he is this, he's purported to be this high status person. I think he got bad advice from people in the golf community. You need to look to appeal to a white Protestant crowd, you need to be married and look squared away. And so he married this woman and then ended up cheating on her with Denny's waitresses and Rachel Yucatel. And whereas
I got stories for you.
Whereas what happens with Derek Jeter? He fucks Jessica Biel and Jessica Alba and Mariah Carey, and nobody says shit because he's not married, and because he's, in our minds, we're like, well, of course he's a shortstop for the fucking Yankees. Of course he's worth sleeping with all those women. Nobody complained when Hugh Hefner would like have multiple girlfriends. Well, some women would complain, but most people were like, because he's Hugh Hefner, of course he's gonna have multiple girlfriends. This whole paradigm where like we saw Tiger is low status because he lied, and Derek Jeter, we didn't even care.
I don't care.
Yeah,
well, it's like the same thing that's going down with Leonardo DiCaprio right now.
For sure.
I did a full episode on this. No, we did it on Rule Zero, which is my panel show on Saturdays. And we talked about, and by the way, this has been going on for a very long time, at least since 1999. And yes, I finally do understand that his first girlfriend in that rotation of his, monkey branching or whatever, yes, that was Giselle, who is Giselle Brady. Or
Giselle Munchin is her name.
Munchin, yeah. Thank you for correcting me, chat.
Yeah.
But so looking at how he goes from women who are like, say 20 to 25, and that's the cutoff point, like its expiration date hits. Is he doing that because he's like, yeah, I do that on purpose, that's my intent? Or is he doing that just because it's just like, well, after a certain time, that's when things kind of get stale and she's not as hot as she used to be, or she's not as fun as she used to be. I think I'm going to trade her up for a different model. Women love Leonardo DiCaprio, but they hate Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like it's love-hate relationship with him because he's the dude who you can perpetually never lock down, but he's a high-value dude. But they want to give him grief. There's still that love-hate relationship. And then what I did is I contrasted that with a guy like Keanu Reeves. Yeah. And Keanu Reeves is with I don't know if he's still with her, but he was with his girlfriend. I think it was his PR woman. And she's like 46, 47 years old. She looks like she's 67. Wow. She looks like his mom. And women came out of the woodwork and they're like, oh, I love him that much more now. He's dating somebody who's age appropriate. And it's like, yeah, she's like 2 years away from menopause. And I'm like there, that doesn't enter into the mind, but it's just this sort of like what's socially acceptable and what's not socially acceptable. And it's usually in a sort of a gynocentric framework where it's like what benefits the interest of women's mating strategy is always what's going to play, and what doesn't, or what benefits a man's mating strategy, such as Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, to my knowledge, isn't like going out and banging random hoes. Yeah. He has one girlfriend that he sticks with for 4 or 5 years, and then he gets up to the next one right there. Women hate that even more, I think, than if he had just like he was banging random club sluts all the time, because it's a loss of equity. It's a loss of investment, because when women between the ages of 20 and 25 years old, they're hitting that sexual market value peak, that's when they're at their peak agency. That's when they have their most, like in the sexual marketplace, that's when they have the most equity, certainly to a guy like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? And so they're giving away their most fertile, sexually youthful, vibrant, vivacious years for a guy who's just going to cycle her out for the next model 4 or 5 years down the road. That's was it a opportunity cost? That's a loss of investment on women.
I think he started off not thinking about the 25-year-old thing, and later on someone probably pointed out to him. And psychologically, he probably was like, "Wait, is this a real?" You know what I'm saying?
He probably didn't know until like the third one.
After like a dozen, he's like, "Oh, wait a second, maybe this is a real thing that I really like here." You know what I'm saying? So that is an interesting another.